film friends, friends of film, and everyone in between. Welcome to the Film Folklore Podcast. I am Jed Props, and I'm joined today by Rachel Art.
Ew.
Justin Sound.
Hello.
Heather Ray Costumes.
What's up, y'all?
And that's Sarah, our producer over there in the corner.
Hey,
and her
Sarah.
boyfriend, Randy. I know he dresses a lot like Chris, but it's in fact not Chris. All right. So it's a new season, and we haven't done this yet. So I believe it's time for Find the Fake Movie Title. Air horn? Can I get some air horn? Fuck yeah. All right. So, Rachel, since you're new to this, and for you two who might be rusty, so basically I'm going to give you 3 movie titles. 2 are real, 1 is fake. And your job each is to choose which one you think is the fake movie title. All right?
I'm on it.
And we also have to ask Jed for the rules 3 more times throughout this whole process.
We'll fix it in post.
That feels like that's never happened. Oh, look at that. Look at that scowl. All right.
There should be a sound for that, too.
Everybody ready? Because here we go. Okay. I have 3 horror titles for y'all today. The first one is... That's the title. The next one is... No, I'm kidding. All right. So the first one is Don't Fuck in the Woods. All right. The next one is Ghost Commies in Space. And the third one is The Gay Bed and Breakfast of Terror. Remember, 2 are real, 1 is fake.
I mean, I really want the first one to be real, but I don't think it is.
Don't Fuck in the Woods?
That's the one.
Okay, you're going with Don't Fuck in the Woods. Rachel, what do you
I think Don't Fuck in the Woods is real.
I want it to be so
I
bad.
think the third is real. Honestly, I really think and want the second one to be real, but I don't know what to go with, so I'll go with the Commies in Space.
Okay, Commies in Space for you. Justin, what do you think?
I'm going to side with Heather Ray. I'm going
All
to
right.
say Don't Fuck in the Woods. Fake one.
I mean, I'm going to tell you that's great advice because do not fuck in the woods. It's awful.
Poison ivy.
Yeah, that's a hospital visit I don't want to revisit. Anyway.
Doing it wrong.
Also,
So-
hikers can walk up on
Oh,
you.
yeah. Yeah, it's the worst.
So many things.
Hi, Mom. The answer, drum roll, I suppose, unless you got that on there.
Not yet.
Not yet.
The fake movie is Ghost Commies in Space.
Really?
Rachel, on her debut.
I'm so excited that is...
I'm not going to lie, I thought the Commies reference
I
was
love being...
outdated.
I'm really happy to be wrong on
Well, I
this
mean,
one. I
these
gotta
could be
tell
from
you.
any decade.
I would totally, would love to see Ghost Commies in Space.
I would totally be down for Ghost Commies in Space, especially if the movie was made in like 68, 72, somewhere in that
Right.
era.
That makes sense.
when was
now it
Don't
makes
Fuck
sense.
in the Woods
Commies in space. Yeah. If you put it in that time frame, yeah.
I thought for sure that was the real one, honestly. It sounded
I
real.
did too. I thought it was dead ass wrong. I knew the gay bed and breakfast was
No,
real.
everybody
do you
knows
know,
that's real.
seen it.
Cosmonauts,
there.
cosmonauts are jealous that astronauts are the first to land on the moon. So cosmonauts are planning to land on the sun. And do you know how they're going to do it? They're going to go at night. All right. Anyway, so Don't Fuck in the Woods. A group of friends are going on a camping trip to celebrate graduating college. But once they enter the woods, the group are attacked by a creature.
Named Herpes.
It gets a 2.9. It has a 2.9.
Don't fuck that guy in the woods.
This was just a PSA for safe sex.
Yes.
That's what that is.
The creature is Smokey the Bear. And he's rapey. Okay. So it has
like
a
a bear.
2.9 IMDb rating. It is not registered enough to affect the tomato meter, but it's got a 35% on the popcorn meter. Fun aside to that one, it has a sequel, and its rating is better than the original, but not by much, a 3.8.
There are 2 Don't Fuck in the Woods, is what you're
What is
Yes.
the second sequel's name? Don't Fuck in the Woods Part 2?
Again.
You know what?
I said don't fuck in the woods.
Hey, I was listening to Turn Off the Lights earlier. That's what it reminded me of. I said turn them off!
Number 3. God damn it, I said.
Motherfucker said don't fuck in the woods.
Yeah, now I want to. All right. So the other one, The Gay Bed and Breakfast of Terror, that one is Helen and Luella are just another typical God-fearing mother and daughter who happen to bake mincemeat muffins and run a charming, if not bit faded, bed and breakfast inn. Or
That's
are
why
they?
It's a horror.
On the eve of the biggest gay party weekend of the year, and having not made advance reservations, 5, I don't know why it's in quotes, couples find themselves having to make accommodations far from the city. There's Dom and Alex, the performers, and Deborah and Gabby, the sophisticated entrepreneurial lipsticks. There's also Mike and Eric, the upscale yuppie power couple, and their annoying fag hag friend, Lizette. Also checking in are Star and Brenda, the struggling folk singer and tough-talking tomboy, and lastly, Rodney and Todd, the sugar daddy and personal trainer. Looking at you, Sarah. She's got a personal trainer.
Don't say that in
And
front
a
of
sugar
Randy.
daddy.
Jeez.
Yeah. What?
They're not
How do you
the
know
same
Randy is
person.
not the personal trainer? So,
I mean,
what should have been
movement is not really
the biggest
his
gay
jam.
party weekend of the year quickly turns into every gay and lesbian's worst nightmare! Exclamation point. In the middle of the desert, off the main highway, lies the Sahara Salvation Inn. A small slice of paradise here in the desert. As the guests check in, they slowly come to realize, and some too late, that the Sahara Salvation is not at all what it appears to be. That is the fucking synopsis, and it's a 3.6 IMDb. It has a 20% tomato meter and a 39% popcorn meter.
I feel like I don't even need to watch that now. I feel
I
like
know.
that it was
That-
exactly
Well-
what
That's all I
had
needed to know.
happen.
What is it?
I would think
It doesn't say
And
what
what's-
it is.
What state
I-
is
No,
this
I'm
in?
convinced I know what it is.
I think the
Those
mincemeat
bitches,
muffins are the people.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
Soylent Green is
Soylent Green is people. No, they
It's all
make
Sweeney
the people
Todd.
Yeah, exactly.
into pies.
All right. Thank y'all for humoring me.
I would have much rather the premise be, oh, this bed and breakfast is poorly decorated. The horror.
Ha.
The horror.
The horror.
Horror.
The horror.
All right, thank y'all for that. So now on to today's legendary lore. This is a wild one, so hold on to your butts. Because today, in the spirit of spooky season, even though we're belated, we will be discussing the 1982 spectral classic that is Poltergeist, starring JoBeth Williams and Craig T. Nelson. Directed, if you can see me, I am using air quotes, by Toby Hooper, and produced, co-written, and debatedly largely directed by, as well, we'll get into, Steven Spielberg.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he's just some dude. I'm calling this Justice for JoBeth, Curses versus Bizarre Coincidences, and say, who's in charge here? Before we get any further, research for today's episode comes from Wikipedia, Collider, shocking, IMDb, and FastRewind.com, and VanityFairBiography.com, Mental Floss, and Den of Geek. Let's start with the plot summary, which is way shorter than the Gay in Bed and Breakfast of horror. IMDb keeps it simple as a family's home becomes the center of paranormal activity that opens a doorway to the, quote, other side. With help, they must cross over to get their daughter back. We're here. It's our first legendary lore of season 3. Let's start off with, did everyone do your homework assignment? I'm looking at you, Rachel. As she will, no, she's going to tell us something funny in a second. So have y'all seen this movie? And what are your thoughts? Do you want to start off since I called you out?
You did call me out. That was terrifying. Judd told me what movie we were doing twice, and I still watched the wrong one.
But you didn't watch a bad one,
No, I watched The Exorcist.
which one day we will cover.
I
He
would.
told me twice, and I still watched The Exorcist.
I would
Also,
rather watch The Exorcist.
Actually, I power watched the Poltergeist.
The
Is it the Poltergeist?
Sure.
I think it's just Poltergeist, right?
The Poltergeist.
Just Poltergeist.
Just Poltergeist. The sequel should be called The Poltergeist. No, I
Actually, I think it's.
and I forgot
Other
how
Side
much
is
I
the
love this movie. This
subtitle.
movie does live rent free in my brain, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's why I'm terrified of clowns. I'm convinced of
Absolutely,
it.
it's why everyone's terrified
Yeah.
of clowns.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That clan doll
Anybody's
sucked.
seen it?
But also
like
they're
'em.
not incredibly dissimilar. This one came out after. Didn't Exorcist? Come
Exorcist
out in
is
the
late
70s?
70s.
Yeah, late 70s. So they're not too far apart. But also they are both
Early
like
70s,
haunted
actually.
by
Was it early? Oh, wow.
the
It was early 70s.
Oh,
The Exorcist.
yeah, I think it was like 73, 74.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, I haven't researched it
One,
yet.
I think.
they're both kind of haunted by like horrible things that happened. Exorcist mostly on set. Poltergeist mostly offset. So
Yeah, Exorcist has a lot of crazy stuff, which I wasn't kidding when I said we will cover it one day. There's also a murder
with good
thing
movies.
tied to it and a bunch of other crazy stuff.
but yes, I did watch
Yes.
the movie.
You basically cliff notes your way after watching The Exorcist, right?
Well, no, I just zoomed through all the parts that I didn't forget about. Like,
Yeah, that's what
It's red.
power
Don't
watching.
worry about
I power watched it.
Yeah. Justin, what about you?
Yeah, I loved it. Favorite characters with the mom and dad.
Yeah. I love the joint smoking randomly. I had no memory of that.
I had no memory of that because I saw it as a
I
child.
did.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know what the hell they were doing.
I randomly did, but the thing I didn't remember is how fucking filthy that whole family is. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Also coming from a very filthy person, that mom does a lot of work. The chips in the bed in the beginning, like the
that
chips
drives
on
me-
the floor.
I hate eating
And
in a bed.
look, I eat in
Especially
bed.
chips and
I eat in
It's fine,
bed.
but I was just kind
it's
of
the
like,
worst.
it was. And then
Would you kick me out if I ate crackers?
If you ate them next to the bed, yes.
Next to the
Craig
bed.
T.
Wow.
Nelson is in the bed while they're rolling the joint, and he tosses the box of pot to Jo Beth Williams, and there is a cloud of pot that's just in the bed covering, and I'm just like,
That's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
wasteful.
the fuck?
Yeah.
It was driving me insane. But during the day, the house is spotless, and so I think they really were putting Joe back to work.
Or that's when the gnomes come out during the night and they do all the cleaning.
Or
They are
Or the
spirits.
that's
by
what
the
that
way.
clown was
Yeah.
doing. That clown was pissed.
Yeah.
He had to clean.
You never pick up after yourself.
Yeah, so that is one thing I picked up on this time that I was like, oh, okay.
So I didn't know before this last watch that what the difference between a poltergeist or that all these different types of ghosts
Oh, I do.
there are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a poltergeist
And-
is different from a quote ghost, which is also different from a specter.
Spectre, right?
Because
Yes.
a poltergeist attaches themselves to a person
Yes,
instead
can.
of a place.
And a poltergeist.
Wait. A poltergeist attaches themselves to
A person, Carol Ann.
right.
And they're also they're like a general disturbance. A lot of times you don't. We can Google this right now.
Yeah. What about you, Heather?
That's how it was more explained to me. It was more
Yeah.
of a general disturbance than a single entity.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
I just know the difference from Harry Potter.
Upon rewatch, was
Peeves,
like we
justice
just
for
mentioned
peeves,
the pot
by the
thing,
way.
but were there other kind of surprises you didn't remember?
I watched this movie so much as a child
Yeah.
that I honestly, I watched it like 3 times and it was kind of like I was doing other things as I was doing it because it was like, oh yeah. But no, I mean, honestly, I don't have a great memory and this movie is very burned into my memory.
Absolutely.
I'm very similar. I watched it a lot as a kid, hadn't seen it in a long time. The crazy thing I did not remember, which I was shocked. I was like, how do I not remember this? The extremely graphic when the guy's hallucinating and he's tearing his own face off.
Oh my God, that is
Like-
so absurd.
It's because it looks very dated.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
When I
the
saw it back
special
in
effects and
1994,
everything.
but
in
you would
this.
think having seen it, as a child, that would be like ingrained in me or something like
No,
that.
the pool
And
is
I was
ingrained
watching
in
it.
me.
Yeah, the pool is
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
ingrained. But yeah, I was watching it going like, is this like am I watching some kind of like extended feature or something? But yeah, it was a lot of fun rewatching it. It holds up overall, I would say.
Yeah,
It does.
I think Even
It
with the one thing that jumped out to me, probably because it was the very beginning of the movie, and I just didn't remember this, and I still don't understand why it was the choice. But the very first shot of the movie is the snow or static,
TV.
and it's not the national anthem. What is it? It's like the
Oh,
Oh,
you're talking about
say,
with,
can't-
because the TV goes off back
Stars
then.
and-
Yeah,
but like
do you
I
know
was
where
That's-
do you
that's
know
how-
where your children
that's
are?
how
It's
old we
11
are.
o'clock. Do you
it
know where
was
your
the
children
most
are?
terrifying American Pride I've ever seen.
It used to be
That used to be
because
normal.
the TV the cable wasn't
No,
in existence, so it used to shut off.
I know.
Okay.
But the
Then
it,
what's
And also
No,
when it
it
came back
was
on.
say-
it was the song. It
Uh-huh.
was playing the national anthem. I
Right.
don't know why. It wasn't the national anthem. It was the other big
Star
one.
Spangled Banner.
Yes,
Star
that
Spangled
one. And I didn't
that
remember
is
that.
the
And
national anthem? It's the national anthem that was playing. Yeah.
I don't remember which one. It was one of the major things. The Static. I grew up with the Static. We had rabbit ear TVs. We were poor. But it was
almost like Jimi Hendrix's.
It was oddly unsettling that was playing, and I still don't understand why. I don't know if it's because this movie did come out in June.
It's because of the state of the world today, and nobody wants to hear that.
Exactly. Like that's also maybe why I found it so unsettling.
I'm not lying.
But I'm still trying to figure out why that was.
There's something wrong with the world today. I don't know what it is. There's something in our eyes.
Oh, good Lord.
Living on the edge.
So no, I didn't remember that being what was playing on the TV initially. I didn't remember anything.
There are some Easter eggs on that TV that are super obscure that I certainly would never have known if I hadn't done the research. But yeah, Spielberg has there's a guy named
Star
Joe is an
Wars
old movie that
too.
he wanted to remake, and he eventually does. The remake is the Richard Dreyfuss movie Always in the 80s, but the original, a guy named Joe, because he was fond of the movie, it's playing on the TV before the TV goes off the air. That's when they're in that pot scene and everything. So we're going to get into a convoluted background to kick us off, because the point A to point B of what got this into pre-production is already insane. So we have to start on the heels of Close Encounters. Columbia Pictures wanted Spielberg to make a sequel. There's mixed reports on his level of interest in making a sequel at all, but he ultimately came up with an idea that would become a script called Night Skies. Originally, it was Watch the Skies. It evolved into Night Skies. Spielberg based the story on the Kelly Hopkinsville encounter, where a Kentucky family claimed that they had been terrorized by gremlin-like aliens. Spielberg had heard the story from ufologist. Had to go make sure I was saying that one right. J. Allen Hynek, while doing research for Close Encounters. And that Kelly Hopkinsville encounter, there's last podcast on the left covers it. It's pretty insane. So go listen to their thing if you want to know more about that. In Spielberg's original treatment for Watch the Skies, Night Skies, 11 malicious extraterrestrial scientists tried to communicate with chickens, cows, and other livestock in an attempt to discover which of Earth's animal species are sentient before turning their unwelcome attentions to a human family and dissecting their farm animals. All right. Night Skies, as you probably know, it would never be made. But John Sayles, a longtime screenwriter, he did The Howling, 8 Men Out, Clan of the Cave Bear, Secret of Roan Inish. Sayles delivered his first and in the end only draft of the screenplay, which featured 5 aliens. He cut it down, including the aforementioned Scar, Squirt, and Buddy, who was kind and befriended the human family's autistic son. Sayles' script opened with Scar, who was described in the script as having a beak-like mouth and eyes like a grasshopper's, killing farm animals by touching them with a long bony finger, which gave off an eerie light, and ended with Buddy marooned on Earth by his mean-spirited peers, cowering under the shadow of an approaching hawk. You can definitely see some elements, because
sounds familiar,
right? Of E.T. and a little bit of Poltergeist. Just in these treatments and synopses. If you want to go read further in that detail, feel free. Spielberg then hired special effects and makeup guru, now legend, Rick Baker, to make an alien prototype. So Baker's like if you know, makeup effects legend. My God, if there's been like an alien, an ape, or a monkey, a wolf man, amongst other creature designs, he either did it, had a hand in it, or influenced it practically. He did all the creature design makeup for Thriller, for example. He did Men in Black. He did Maleficent more recently. And here's a great one. He's the one who's responsible for blackfacing Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. The dude's been around. So basically the kind of guest I dream about having on our show. Rick Baker built a working prototype of the lead alien that cost $70,000 in 1980-ish money. And it apparently thrilled Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy after they saw a videotape of it. And so with their blessing, Baker continued to design and build in that direction. Then Spielberg had second guesses about the project, as he will now tell you in his own words.
I might have taken leave of my senses. Throughout Raiders, I was in between killing Nazis and blowing up flying wings and having Harrison Ford in all this high serialized adventure. I was sitting there in the middle of Tunisia, scratching my head and saying, I've got to get back to the tranquility, or at least the spirituality of Close Encounters.
Doesn't it? It makes you so hard to like him.
I want to punch his face.
I know. He does. Hey, no offense. I mean, he's an amazing director and everything and producer, but he has a very punchable face. And while they're on the set of Raiders, Spielberg read the Night Sky screenplay to Melissa Matheson, who is the then girlfriend of, later married to, and now divorced from Harrison Ford. One thing that I couldn't find out, why is he reading the script to her? Like, she couldn't read it herself. But anyway, she apparently cried after hearing it because, quote, the idea of an alien creature who was benevolent, tender, emotional, and sweet, and the idea of a creature striking up a relationship with a child who came from a broken home was very affecting.
I know why I had to read it to her, because he likes hearing his own fucking voice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Well, I think we all know that.
Burn. This empathetic... This empathetic reaction from Matheson was enough for Spielberg to kill the Night Skies project then and there and began planning for the film idea, which Matheson had even titled E.T. and Me. A mere 18 months later, this would be released as E.T. the Extraterrestrial, which, as I was putting this together, I've never noticed this before, but that title is absolutely redundant.
Yeah. E.T. E.T.
My entire life, I have known E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Never thought about that. Anyway, when asked to scrap the work and start over on a new idea, Rick Baker had a very justified falling out with Little Stevie because he had spent $700,000 on unused designs, models, and animatronics for Night Skies. And so a different special effects makeup designer, Carlo Rambaldi, did the designs for E.T. Rambaldi, so you know, had worked on Close Encounters, so it was an obvious second choice. And Rambaldi was another legend in the field himself, but much older. He retired in '88, for example, to live out what seems a beautiful retirement in the Italian countryside until his death in 2012. Jealous of that. Not the death, the retirement part. The Columbia producers were anyway. The Columbia producers were also upset with Night Skies getting scrapped and this new E.T. project waltzing in like it owns the place. And they specifically said that they didn't want to make a, quote, wimpy Walt Disney movie. The long short here is that Spielberg pissed off a bunch of people, so he got his longtime close friend, Sid Sheinberg, just happened to be the president of MCA at the time, which was the then parent company of Universal Studios. My, how much has changed? See our first episode of the season. Sheinberg bought the rights to both Night Skies and E.T. from Columbia, repaying them $1 million to cover lost expenses and a deal that would allow Columbia to retain 5% of any profits off of this E.T. thing. One of Columbia's top producers would later half-jokingly say that Columbia made more money off of E.T. that year than any of their own films. You're thinking, this is all fine and good, Jed, but aren't we supposed to be talking about Poltergeist?
That is exactly what I was thinking.
You are correct, strange voice in my head. The horror elements from Sale's Night Sky script would evolve into, yep, you guessed it, Poltergeist. The residual elements left over from Night Skies would also go on to become Spielberg's War of the Worlds and Gremlins. So 4 total projects from one scrap project, not bad.
Well, Spielberg wanted to direct Poltergeist, but because he was directing E.T.,
my God, you read my mind. That's the next thing I'm about to say.
Because he was directing E.T., he couldn't do it. However,
so
I'm sure you're going to lead right into this, Jed.
Elaborate, Jed.
Spielberg was a big fan of young director Tobe Hooper's work in creating the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So he was tapped to direct Night Skies, but Hooper wasn't interested in the sci-fi elements of the story and suggested they make a ghost story. Spielberg had wanted to remake A Guy Named Joe, and he tapped 2 writers for that, but the writers had no interest in that remake as well, but they did have interest in this ghost story idea you speak of. And with these two writers, Michael Grais and Mark Victor, they got to work on writing Poltergeist. Spielberg had wanted Stephen King to write the screenplay, by the way, but he was unavailable. Now we can see where the night skies idea combined with the concept pitched by Tobe Hooper brings us ultimately to making Poltergeist. And what Heather Rae was getting into, there was a clause in Spielberg's contract with Universal that prevented him from directing anything while he was working on E.T., and that is ultimately what got Hooper the nod to direct Poltergeist.
But he basically hired this guy so he could be like a Manchurian
Oh,
candidate.
like
we're going to
essentially. We'll get into it.
I'm going to spell it all out and let y'all come to your own conclusions, both listener and you guys. There's been a lot of speculation and rumor over the years that Spielberg... Are you looking over my shoulder at my notes? That Spielberg was actually
I
directing...
know stuff too, Jed.
But you're going in order that I'm going. Or at least co-directing, and I will... Get out of my head. We'll lay it all out and let y'all decide, as I just said. So, who the fuck directed this? Like
Some
I
guy
hinted at
named
before.
Tobe.
Yeah, yeah. It's Tobe. It's Toby. Like I hinted at before, I'm going to lay all this out like bullet points, and then when we're done, I'm gonna let y'all kind of come to an open conclusion of what you think about how this directing thing went down. Okay.
I think that was Jed saying, Heather Rae, shut the fuck up until I'm done talking.
Until I cue you for a quote, even though Justin's next up. Okay. The two houses that were used for the bulk of shooting between E.T. and Poltergeist were 20 minutes from each other.
Oh, you could tell.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? The suburbia definitely had
The
some...
cul-de-sacs, like, absolutely. It's glaringly obvious.
There was significant crossover between the shooting schedules of both productions. After turning down Night Skies and it was scrapped and salvaged, Spielberg offered E.T. to Tobe Hooper, who then turned that down as well. So Spielberg had to direct E.T. because of the contractual clause created, leaving Hooper to direct Poltergeist. So, as you were saying, he wanted to direct Poltergeist. It had been claimed that the reason Spielberg was on set a lot on Poltergeist was because of delays on E.T. Writer Michael Grais stated that they weren't really working with Steven because he was on the other project, only stepping in the MGM commissary occasionally to talk with the two writers. There is debate about who was in charge of casting, with most accounts stating that Spielberg handled the casting, but Hooper gave input. In fact, Spielberg found Heather O'Rourke, who played Carol Ann, in the MGM commissary and had her audition a few times for him until she showed she could perform the requested acting needs on command.
Actually, her sister was auditioning.
Yeah,
and
her
she
older
went
sister.
with her sister,
Yes.
and Stephen King saw her.
Like so
in
many
the commissary.
stars.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't think of it. Ke Kwan.
What?
Data from Goonies.
Oh,
Short Round from Temple of Doom. Academy Award winner for.
Hold on,
Yeah,
we go for
for-
wide.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah.
That's exactly how Spielberg found him. His brother
Can you
was going to the
Google
audition.
This guy's name, so it,
I think it's Ke Kwan.
Um,
Anyway, while you're looking that up, remember the face tearing reference I was talking about earlier? The hands doing the tearing were in fact Spielberg's. There are multiple accounts of Spielberg suggesting or recommending ideas and opinions to Tobe Hooper. Yes,
It is in fact Kehu Kwan.
I was close, right? Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to pronounce the middle portion of his name. It's Ke, and then it's Huy.
Hui.
Hui.
Yeah. I think
And then
so.
Kwan, I'm pretty sure is correct. So K.
Oh no, that's
Hui
pronounced
Kwan.
Jian. No, I'm kidding.
Off, dude.
I'm kidding.
Like so trying to tiptoe. Yes.
So this rumor about his suggesting and recommending was so prevalent at the time of the release of the film that Spielberg was quoted in a 1982 article from the LA Times.
Tobe is a take charge kind of guy. If a question was asked and an answer wasn't immediately forthcoming, I'd jump in and say what we could do. Tobe would nod agreement, and that became the process of collaboration.
I'm telling you, it's going to be hard. Little things perpetuated this rumor, such as Spielberg's name being larger than Hooper's in the opening credits.
Oh my goodness.
In that same LA Times article, it was revealed that the DGA had opened an investigation into these claims. I wish Chris was here to speak to that. An arbitrator found that the studio should pay Hooper $15,000 for the credits issue and also noted that, quote, broader issues of dispute exist between producer, writer, and the director. Damages of $200,000 were originally sought by the DGA, but they ultimately dropped it, probably from some behind the doors, whatever's. All of the speculation prompted Spielberg to write an open letter to Hooper, printed in the Hollywood Reporter.
Regrettably, some of the press has misunderstood the rather unique, creative relationship which you and I shared throughout the making of Poltergeist. I enjoyed your openness in allowing me, as a writer and a producer, a wide berth for creative involvement. Just as I know you were happy with the freedom you had to direct Poltergeist so wonderfully. Through the screenplay, you accepted a vision of this very intense movie from the start, and as the director, you delivered the goods. You performed responsibly and professionally throughout, and I wish you great success on your next project.
And just real quick, I want to say, why the fuck did you have to put that in an open letter? You could have just told the guy yourself. But anyway, a co-producer, Frank Marshall, commented in response to the rumors.
The creative force of the movie was Steven. Toby was the director and was on the set every day. But Steven did the design for every storyboard. And he was on the set every day except for 3 days when he was in Hawaii with Lucas. However,
Hooper stated that he, quote,
did fully half of the storyboards.
Wow. What a compliment.
Fully half.
Yeah.
Fully half.
Fully half. Yeah.
Not only half.
Yeah.
Fully
you know what? He's positive. Glass half full. Supposedly, while filming the scene with the clown doll, where it comes alive and tries to pull him under his bed,
I hate it.
Oliver Robbins, who plays Carol Ann's brother Robbie, went through a near-death experience. This sounds like a load of horseshit, but I put it in here anyway, so y'all can be the judge again when we go over all this. The puppet grabbed his legs too hard and cut off his circulation. Steven Spielberg thought he was acting. He even yelled, "Keep going, you're doing great," the words that a director would say. It was only until he saw his face turn red that he realized he was in trouble. Spielberg ran over and pulled the puppet off, saving Oliver's life. Can you believe it?
I also did a little research. My research is exactly the same, except for his face was blue, and which is
It's all a
more
lie.
alarming. And they had to touch it up in post.
Oh man, 1981 post must have really sucked doing a touch up. Anyway,
On Avid.
yeah,
American hero.
yeah, I know he's.
Oh, they almost killed a kid on a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
Shocker.
And remember that this is a throwback to last season's finale, but remember the high horse he was on because of Landis fuck ups on Twilight Zone the movie. So anyway,
Oh God.
go watch that.
Another decapitation story.
And now some various eyewitness testimony that fueled the flames. First, from Zelda Rubinstein, who played the clairvoyant and apparently is a self-proclaimed real-life psychic as well. In a 2007 interview with Ain't It Cool News, she recalled her accounts of being on set.
Steven directed all 6 days that she was there. Toby set up the shots, and Steven made the adjustments.
She went on to allege that Hooper
Allowed some unacceptable chemical agents into his work.
and that during her audition,
Toby was only partially there.
actor James Karen, who played Craig T. Nelson's boss, Mr. Trig, thought Zelda was being too harsh, stating,
She laid into Toby, and I don't know why. Toby was kind to her.
Karen would later go on to add,
Toby had a hard time on that film. It's tough when a producer is on set every day. And there's always been a lot of talk about that. I consider Toby my director. That's my stand on all those rumors.
Martin Casella, who played Marty, the paranormal assistant aforementioned, stated,
So much of Poltergeist looked and felt like a Spielberg movie, but my recollection is that Toby was mostly directing.
Oliver Robbins, who would go on to say years later,
The guy who sets up the shots, blocks the actors, and works with the crew to create a vision is the director. In those terms, Tobe was the director. He's the one that directed me anyway.
special effects makeup Craig Reardon would later claim that Spielberg often had the final say. He used the steak on the counter as an example when it had been made by Hooper specifications and then nixed and changed by Spielberg. And he quote, I'll take this one, and I'm not going to do a voice. Although the first steak did not represent a killing him.
Coward.
Although the first steak did not represent a killing amount of work, it had consumed enough time and effort. Why are we all going with these same accents?
It's all in New York.
My Boston sucks.
That I determined in the future to make certain whatever I prepped would be approved in advance by Spielberg as well as Hooper.
God, he meant that shit.
And if I take away the bad accent that I just did, if you read what I just said, it sounds like the most British of English. So he probably was British. All right. So, according to Blumhouse's website of all things, First AC John Leonetti of the clan Leonetti reported that Spielberg directed the film more so than Hooper, claiming,
Hooper was so nice and just happy to be there. He creatively had input. Steven developed the movie, and it was his to direct. Except there was anticipation of a director's strike, so he was the producer. But really, he directed it in case there was going to be a strike, and Toby was cool with that.
And he continued,
It wasn't anything against Toby. Every once in a while, he would, actually leave the set and let Toby do a few things just 'cause. But really, Steven directed it.
Toby Hooper died in 2017. After his death, Mick Garris, who was the publicist of the film and had made multiple visits to set throughout the production, defended Hooper, stating,
Toby was always calling action and cut. Toby had been deeply involved in all of the pre-production and everything. But Steven is a guy who will come in and call the shots. And so you're on your first studio film hired by Steven Spielberg, who is enthusiastically involved in this movie. Are you going to say, stop that, let me do this? Which Toby did.
Garris went on to say,
oh, sorry. Toby was a terrific filmmaker. I don't think it's that Steven was controlling. I think it was Steven was enthusiastic. And nobody was there to protect Toby. But all of the pre-production was done by Toby. Toby was there throughout. Toby's vision is very much realized there. And Toby got credit because he deserved credit, including Steven Spielberg said that.
He wrapped up his summation in defense, stating,
Yes, Steven Spielberg was very much involved. It's a Toby Hooper film.
Toby spent 10 weeks in the editing booth with the editor, of course, while Spielberg was at Industrial Light and Magic directing the post-production VFX. In 2015, 2 years before his passing, Hooper was asked about the controversy. He claimed that the rumors started in an LA Times article that reported on Steven shooting footage of little race cars in the front of the house while Hooper was busy elsewhere shooting another scene. Quote,
From there it became its own legend. That's how I remember it. I was making the movie, and later on I heard this stuff that after it was finished. I really can't set the record much straighter than that.
From one of the horse's mouths.
Does it feel like all of these people kind of maybe got paid off in some way?
Everybody has the same exact script.
I think
Steven was there all the time, but it was Toby's movie.
They all want to work on Spielberg's other
Exactly.
projects.
I think paid off just means I would like to get hired again.
Yeah.
Give the governor a harumph. So this is where, well, actually, first of all, this is where we're going to close on part one, but we're going to do a little things before we wrap out of here today. And next week, we will be back for part two of our legendary lore coverage of Poltergeist. But wrapping us up here today, I want y'all to speak to all of that we just went through on who directed this movie. So if each of you would take a moment to give your take on who directed this movie.
Spielberg directed this movie.
Final answer.
Yeah, final answer.
I guess I'm saying in terms of like how much do you think that Toby Hooper actually was doing versus what Spielberg was doing? Like he obviously wasn't. Like,
I mean,
just doing
okay,
lines
so
in the
Spielberg
bathroom.
was deeply into this movie. He wrote it. He wanted Stephen King to co-write it with him. Like he was in it and wanted to do it. And he's Spielberg. Even in 1982, he's Spielberg.
Rachel.
I think on paper, obviously, Tobe Hooper. But the thing is, this is not a Poltergeist specific event. This Steven Spielberg has produced a ton of movies, and even when he's producing, just like this one, he has always had a massive amount of input, more so than most producers would. Goonies, things like that. I've watched all of the director's cuts of Goonies and the cast commentary. People will refer more to Spielberg's notes than Chris Columbus's notes, and he was the actual director. So I don't think this is anything.
You're saying it's not a one-off.
This is not a one-off. I think he like you said, he is Spielberg. You know,
Guys,
I mean, this
it.
was only a couple years after Jaws, too.
Yeah.
You know, you got to keep that in mind.
Thank you for saying that, because our season 1 finale on Jaws, you should go check that out if you haven't listened to it before, and you'll also see where there almost was no such thing as Steven Spielberg.
You're like really tapping into all of my like childhood trauma that has carried through my entire life with these. Actually, I blame Spielberg. Oh my God! I just realized this is a.
I would not go in swimming pools.
we just had a breakthrough.
large toddler because I've never not seen Jaws. It has been on since I was an infant.
Yeah.
And has terrorized me.
I can't. I still to this day cannot swim in the deep end of a swimming pool
Can't
at
do
night.
it. Nope.
Even though I know it's absurd. Like, but I'm
Well,
like,
it's actually not absurd because you know that scene with Richard Dreyfuss where he's like going into the boat underneath the water. That was filmed in a pool.
see, it's not absurd. I'm not
not.
crazy. I'm
See,
not crazy. I'm not
shit
crazy. I'm
happens
not
in pools.
crazy.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add to that?
No, I think on paper, obviously, it's Tobe Hooper, but any movie that is produced by Steven Spielberg is a Steven Spielberg film.
Yeah.
It's a very ambiguous answer, but there it is.
No, I think that it's on point though.
Justin?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Rachel. But I also think we should give Toby a little bit more credit. I mean, this happens not just with
got a letter.
Spielberg
What else
I'm
does
not,
he
I'm
want?
not taking any.
It's
Yeah,
just Spielberg has like he's probably got it the worst of all. But I mean, you see, producers restrict directors all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was as prevalent back then. I mean, just based on like what I've seen from the beginning of my career, which was way after this, to present day, I feel like I don't know. I mean, I don't
for
know
sure.
if producers were that involved back then.
Well,
think it
he
did
is a
vary.
director first, producer second,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
I think he's very much the kind of person who can't turn it off. And
I have seen producers on films that we have worked on. Not producers. I've seen directors get sidelined by other.
now you're getting in my head because that's going to be a question.
It
Okay.
still happens to this day. I've worked on a movie and the DP basically directed the entire
Oh
film.
yeah, for sure.
We've all worked on those
actors
movies.
are
And that
producers.
DP was
and-
not Steven Spielberg.
Since you brought it up, the last question I'm asking y'all is: have y'all ever been on shows with confusing leadership type of situation?
My favorite is
you
when
mentioned
it's
it, Jen.
my favorite is when it's two directors. They're co-directors.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
That's,
that's
always,
always
my
funny.
favorite.
Well,
Although
I've seen
I
it
will
work once.
say I've seen it work once as well.
Daddy's Home.
Mississippi Grind, same people
Yeah.
who did In the Pines. Is that the name of it? I don't know.
I think it's In the Pines.
And the names
Beyond
are
the
escaping you. It was a man and a woman, and they co-direct all the time, and they're awesome to work for. Every other time, it's a clusterfuck.
I think, especially with directing, I think it honestly is a minimum two-person job. That's why a lot of directors will keep the same like first and second ADs because you just need that other person there.
Well, and the script supervisor has a big to
Absolutely.
do about it too.
Yeah.
You know.
But
Some
no,
more than
I
others, but
directly
Yeah, some more than others, but I mean.
Yeah, I directly worked and saw with my own eyes a DP completely take over a project.
Mm-hmm.
And the director
Happens
was
all the
there for
time.
pretty much just name. Here's the thing. Also, it all worked out. It's a fantastic movie. So whatever they did, it worked.
Excuse me.
You know, sometimes you need that kind of like, there's something to be said for, to give some more credit to Toby. God, I hate his name.
To be.
Dude, that was an innocent mistake. To give some more credit to him, I think if we think about it in two different realms, it's like usually you have a straight man, and then you have the well, that doesn't sound right.
Well, I think in the least, Spielberg is like a parent that did all the work on a kid's science fair project, and then he won't let the kid touch it.
See, no, I think I don't think of it in that way. You might know more than me, but I think of like
Debatable.
I would like to think of it's an opinion. It's come on. I would like to think of Toby Hooper as like the guy who shows up, keeps everybody on schedule, says cut, like does all those mechanical things, which you really need if because if you have all artistic, you those often make for very bad movies because you need somebody to keep you grounded and on schedule and tight. And so this movie is actually, like in my crash watch today, I realized it is actually very well timed. It is very concise, and it's very well shot. So, and that's what not all Spielberg's films are.
Except for, I don't know if y'all noticed this weird jump cut from when they're in the kitchen. And then they end up at their neighbor's door, and it's like this weird.
When they're going to complain about the.
And the reason why,
which I still didn't understand.
Yeah, they're going to see if they've experienced anything strange, right?
Right, but the reason why the jump cut is like that is because they were saying, in the script, it says, we're going to go to Pizza Hut. Because she's like, I'm hungry. And she's like, I'm going to go to Pizza Hut. And Craig T. Nelson said, I hate Pizza Hut. And Pizza Hut was like, you can't say that. Because, I mean, I think Pizza Hut was like involved in some of the marketing and advertising.
That seems more of a clearance.
So they cut it.
Issue.
I mean, if you go back and look, I mean, it's this weird.
It is a looser world back then, but if they are paying for that line to be in there, then yeah. But you know, like
yeah, but they're not going to pay for. I hate Pizza Hut.
That to me is not an on-set director issue. That is a post-production clearance issue.
No offense, sir.
I'm just saying.
But real quick, Bad News Bears is an example I always use because
a movie that could never, ever, ever be made today.
I mean, it was, and it wasn't good.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Could never be made like that.
And I like Billy Bob Thornton, but I'm sorry, you're not going to fix that.
You're not George. You're not Matthau.
Yeah. So Walter Matthau, for example, he's drinking Jim Beam while driving, and he's throwing the empty bottles in the back of the car.
And you have the kids smoking on a motorbike.
With the Coca-Cola, smoking Marlboros.
This is why we're not allowed to do these things today.
But I'm just saying, like, that era is different than what we've got in today, which is, again, our swinging pendulums. Excuse me, but it's like such a strict environment now, and everyone's way too hyper aware of like, we can't see that, can't say that.
Don't I know it?
Yeah, I mean, like Leverage, for example.
That's
is Amazon
part
tied?
of my whole job.
Amazon is so obnoxious when it comes to product and everything like that. I hate doing TV in general, and that's most of the work, but especially when it comes to product, because networks and people, they don't want to. They want to keep it open for advertisers and stuff like that. So anyway, it's a whole other can of worms.
It's all about money.
But even back then, in that era, if a company is paying for something specific to be there, like a line or something like that, then and this is I'm agreeing with you. This is for people that don't know that. If they weren't paying for it and you were just saying it, then back then you could kind of get away with whatever you wanted. But if someone's paying for that to be there, then you can't say it.
Yeah, I mean, you should fact check the marketing stuff with Pizza Hut, but I'm pretty sure that I remember like glasses. You know how they used to give the drinking glasses.
I have vintage glasses in my cupboard right now.
Right,
they were Burger King, McDonald's, but still. The last thing, I guess, before getting out of here, this is completely random. I'm just throwing out the trivia because it's interesting, and I had no idea where else to put this. When I was doing research for this, I had seen that Craig T. Nelson was in the Groundlings, and he was a comedy writer and performer with the Groundlings. And I like Craig T. Nelson. I just had no idea that he had an improv background, which
He's
I thought
also
was
like super Trumpy, like super conservative.
Well,
I
he's
mean,
a
he's-
boomer.
By the way,
Isn't he like 80 now?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
like,
old. That man is old.
yeah. Yeah, it's all the people who are gonna die soon, and they're like, "Well, fuck you guys. We're gonna be out of here. You deal with it."
Just lost half.
ironically, it's the
Mom.
people that should be old enough to remember how much Trump sucked in the 80s.
Right.
Anyway,
Always sucks.
I just
So we
want one
gloss
more
over that.
tidbit. Craig T. Nelson, that's his name, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Don't forget the T.
Yeah. Craig T. Nelson, from wasn't he in Coach?
He is
that
Coach.
Yeah, he's Coach. I didn't know his name for years. I just knew him as the guy from Coach.
Yeah.
It looks remarkably like my dad in this movie.
Oh, interesting.
It's alarming. But more if like my dad had gained 30 pounds.
I definitely did not find that in the research.
I brought it to you now.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And so with that, we're going to conclude our part 1. We'll be back next week for part 2, where we're going to get into the spooky and all the crazy. And thanks, everybody, for joining us today. And we will see you next week and all that business. So let's get out of here. Heather Ray, tell the good folks at home what they need to know.
Hey, film friends, it's your good pal Heather Ray here, and we need your help. And that's not what you think. We want your stories, we want your questions, your problems, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. And yes, correct us when we need corrections, which we will need corrections. You can reach us by email at filmfolklorepodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram, also at Film Folklore Podcast, on Twitter and X and TikTok at The Film Folk. And if you're only listening to us, you can now see us on YouTube. Look us up at Film Folklore Podcast, and that's all separate words. Film Folklore Podcast. If you are feeling generous and you want to part with even $1 or $2 to help us keep going, you can donate to our PayPal via our website, filmfolklorepodcast.com, and follow the PayPal link there. Thanks, friends. You're helping us grow. We really appreciate you.